Good morning, how are you all? Hope you had a fantastic week. Welcome to Skin Tips Saturday Live. I'm Yana and I'm a fully qualified beauty therapist, educator and blogger. As I've been blogging now for the last 5 years and more recently decided to, instead of doing all that writing, I'll come on live and talk about skin concerns, the kind of questions that people send me, and hopefully we come up with some solutions and some answers for you. So today we're going to talk about couperose versus rosacea. There's a question that came in from the blog, from a reader. Her question was, I have broken capillaries. Does this mean I have rosacea? I find there are people really confused about the difference between broken capillaries and rosacea, and I'll talk about that. Some people may have a combination of both, or it'll be one or the other. They're two different conditions and need to be addressed differently. So let's talk about broken capillaries. Now, the reason I keep doing this is because there are different types of capillary issues that the skin can have, and not all of them are broken. It's just a common term people are using to describe the redness that they can see on the cheeks. In some cases, a capillary can become broken in the skin or damaged from injury. For example, if you're squeezing really hard or you've been hit by a soccer ball or something like that, then you can end up with a little cluster of capillaries that have been damaged. They're called telangiectasia. And I hope I pronounced that correct. That's my Czechoslovakian accent going there. So you could have a little cluster of capillaries from an injury, previous injury that has occurred in the skin, and then we'll look at ways you can treat that. So there can be, like a red spot, and when you look at it closely, you can see almost like a little cluster radiating out from one middle spot, and then you have like a cluster of capillaries radiating out. So, but let's talk about the term where people see that their skin is red, and they see, when they look very closely, they can see some capillaries or just a general redness. This is called couperose. Now, also, when we look at red skin, we need to determine whether it is couperose or a sensitive skin. And when clients come to see us in the salons, they often say, my skin is sensitive. So we need to find out what is causing that redness. Because in some cases, redness can be the result of a neglect of the skin, using the wrong products on the skin, overstripping the skin, allergies, etc. Or it could be a capillary issue, so they're weakened capillary walls that causes this capillaries to dilate and they're more pronounced and visible from the surface. So that's called couperose. So what's happening in couperose, what couperose is, it's literally dilated capillaries in your skin that have stagnant blood flow through it, so the blood has pooled in that particular area, or is not flowing as well, so it's flowing quite slowly and it's stretching the capillary wall out, and you can then see it from the surface. So people with thinner skins, more fragile skins, lighter skins as well, are more likely to see capillaries. So what causes capillaries? It can be a genetic predisposition, but it really is triggered by the environment, or it's caused by the environment. So UV light, it plays a big factor in causing damage to the capillary walls. The capillary walls themselves are made up of collagen elastin, and UV damages the collagen elastin, causing the capillary to become not as elastic, so it's quite flaccid, and it doesn't bounce back after stretching to allow more blood flow to come through. It doesn't bounce back. It's constantly dilated, so causing that redness from the skin. So the sun is the major factor. Things that can aggravate couperose is if somebody, if you're prone to couperose, you drink hot drinks, alcohol, eat spicy foods, that can tend to irritate couperose. Hot showers, heat. Now we're in the middle of winter at the moment in Australia, and outside is very cold. coming indoors will sit in front of the heaters. Now that can cause and aggravate couperose as well. You've got to be careful not to sit too close to a heating device. And when you're outdoors, you really need to protect your skin. Try and wrap it up with scarves and making sure you do wear sunscreen even in winter, because couperose is ultimately damaged by UV light. So yes, it can be a genetic predisposition, but it is definitely an environmental cause. And so it can be preventable and it can be delayed. Now, in Australia, we see a lot of it because we have such strong UV here in summer, and most people show some kind of degree of couperose. I've been on the road for many, many years. Driving, when you have the visor down, it kind of protects most of your face, but the chin still gets exposed, and the décolletage too. So I'm finding I'm starting to develop couperose on these areas too. So in summer when it's really hot, I try to get a light silk scarf or something, and just to protect myself in that area so I don't get that further damage. Because you can wear sunscreen, but it still feels quite hot, that sun here in Australia. So, and then you will see a lot of people do get redness and couperose around the neck and the décolletage, really any area that's exposed that is not covered by clothing. So that's couperose. So that's dilated capillaries. And how do we treat it? We treat it with cooling, calming ingredients, botanical extracts that calm and soothe the skin, such as chamomiles. Niacinamide is really good. B3, that's excellent as an anti-inflammatory ingredient. But you also need something to strengthen the capillary walls as well. So you need to look for ingredients that help to stimulate collagen in the skin, elastin, such as vitamin C. Vitamin C is fantastic at helping to strengthen capillary walls, as well as boosting collagen production in the skin. So using skincare specifically designed for couperose, capillaries, to keep the skin nice and calm and keep supplying nutrients to the skin to help to maintain the collagen elastin in the skin and protect it and help to boost it as well. So that's how we treat couperose. You can have IPL or laser treatments done for couperose, and essentially they will go in and the heat of the IPL or the laser will in some cases destroy the capillaries to when they're really pronounced, such as in telangiectasia. So they actually destroy the capillaries, and new healthy capillaries will grow in its place, so they're not so visible from the surface. Diathermy, electrolysis in some cases is used as well. If it's a really pronounced vein, they can go in and also destroy that capillary. But in most cases, treatments, how they work is by stimulating heat in the skin. So such treatments as IPL laser, they stimulate heat right under the skin that triggers collagen elastin production in the skin that helps to rejuvenate the skin as well as the capillary walls. So that's how some of these treatments work. I've heard microneedling can be quite good to help regenerate new blood cells, so blood vessels as well. So microneedling might be an option to try, because it is really good at collagen elastin. So, but first, you need to talk to a beauty therapist and get them to have a look at your skin closer to see which option would be best for your skin and your skin problem. Now let's talk about rosacea. Rosacea is a completely different skin condition. Although people tend to call couperose rosacea sometimes, because at stage 1, they look very similar. So dilated capillaries, redness on the cheeks, so they can look similar. But rosacea is more of an internal cause. I've found rosacea, look, nobody knows exactly what causes rosacea. But over the last 26 years treating skin, I've seen common some common things happen, or lifestyle factors with people who suffer with rosacea. And I'm finding stress is a really big factor in the cause of rosacea. People tend to find that rosacea is triggered or brought on by stress, and it becomes worse with stress as well. Dietary factors. So certain people find that certain foods may even trigger rosacea, particularly with rosacea that develops into type 2 or 3. So rosacea, there's different types of categories of rosacea. Firstly, it's just a blushing or redness that's, and usually it's not just the cheeks. In a rosacea client would be cheeks, and we call it the butterfly effect. Could be the chin and the forehead as well. In some cases, I've seen the whole face. Then that's when it's really long term. So certain foods can trigger rosacea as well. So if you do suffer with rosacea, I would keep a diary of what you eat and see what triggers it. So thinking about stress, now a lot of people tell me I'm not stressed. They're thinking mental stress, but they're not thinking about the body stress, because we think that the kind of lifestyle we lead today, that it's supposed to be normal and we should be all coping with it. But our bodies are not designed to be, working all day, all night and dealing with the hectic pace and lifestyle we have. So the adrenal glands will then stimulate adrenaline to help us get through the day and deal with the stress. And then there is a cascading effect after that that can affect people in various different ways. And some of them could be the result of rosacea. So in type 2 rosacea, what I've found is that people start to get little spots. They're not acne. It sometimes can be mistaken as acne. They're what we call papules because they don't have pus in them. They're the round, small, red spots. They can be raised. In early stage 2, they're flat, almost like a rash. And as it develops into later stage 2 or even stage 3, then it becomes almost, that looks like acne. So they become raised and they become, in some cases, sore as well. So what I've found that triggers that most of the time is like long-term ongoing stress, but also dietary factors, definitely. So if you're eating processed foods, you're not eating enough fresh fruit and vegetables, you drink a lot of alcohol, perhaps takeaways, lots of sugar in your diet, that can actually trigger stage 2, stage 3 rosacea. So how do we treat rosacea? It's an inflammatory condition, so we do anti-inflammatory treatments. You've got to calm and soothe that skin. So anti-inflammatory ingredients work really well on rosacea. I have heard some people treat it with retinol or vitamin A and have some success because it is an anti-inflammatory ingredient. So that I would say the stage 2, when it becomes actually an active form of rosacea, when it's breaking out, that's when this retinol or vitamin A can become useful. But interestingly, I found glycolic in stage 2 was really, really helpful. Particularly, there is a serum that I work with that has glycolic salicylic blend in it. And I'm just wondering whether glycolic just exfoliated, but the salicylic was the anti-inflammatory factor in it, because salicylic acid is anti-inflammatory and antibacterial, but in this case is the anti-inflammatory action that we were looking for, and had really, really good success with it. However, if it's a long-term rosacea that's just red, I would, the successes I've had was with oils such as sea buckthorn oil. Sea buckthorn is a bush and it grows little berries, like little orange berries, and they extract oil out of those berries, and found it fantastic as a healing. It's a very powerful healing oil on the skin. And I found that actually helps with rosacea conditions. So sea buckthorn oil, I would also look at essential fatty acids, omegas, to help, because again, they're powerful anti-inflammatory agents. So looking for serums with essential fatty acids, omegas, sea buckthorn oils, so things that are healing, repairing, and soothing on the skin would work really well on rosacea. So I would approach both conditions, both couperose or rosacea, as in treatment, topical-wise, calming and soothing, looking for skincare that are specifically designed for that skin condition. But the causes are different. So remember, if you want to successfully treat a condition, you need to address the cause as well. So in the case of couperose, to prevent aggravating the condition, stay away from heat sources, hot spicy foods, alcohol, etc. and protecting your skin from the sun. And in the case of rosacea, you've got to manage your stress. Stress is the major cause of rosacea. So doing yoga, meditation, taking time out, go for a walk, spend time outdoors in the garden, time playing with your pets. Find a way to switch off every day and help to just settle your mind and your body. Swimming might help. Light exercise always works wonders. But if you get a chance to have a little bit of, take time out, have a massage, relax, and then just rejuvenate your mind and your body and allow your body to heal. Get plenty of rest, plenty of sleep, and then of course look at your diet as well. Is your diet a little bit, could be better? Are you eating too much processed foods? Now, people don't when we talk about processed foods, people think we're talking about takeaway. It's not just takeaway. I'm talking about when you walk in the supermarket, anything that's in the middle, right? Anything that's packed in boxes, in tins, in jars, that's all processed food. Anything that's on the outer aisles, your fresh produce, your fruits and vegetables, etc., that's really what you want to be focusing on. Anything that's in the middle, that's like an easy sort of food, they're loaded with preservatives, colors, salt, sugar, to preserve the product, and we just eat way too much of it, and it's resulting in a lot of skin conditions that people just didn't have years ago. So focus more on fresh fruit and vegetables and eat healthy, drink lots of juices. Herbal teas are fantastic that are anti-inflammatory teas, such as green tea, chamomile tea. So try and add a little bit of herbs to your diet as well. Berries, such as blueberries, fantastic. Bilberries, they add essential nutrients, vitamins, powerful antioxidants, which are anti-inflammatory too. So I will talk a little bit more about other tips that I have for people who suffer with rosacea and couperose on my group. If you have rosacea or couperose and would like to ask any specific questions, please join me on my group, and I'll add the link below if you're not a member of my group yet. So come on over, and I'll be live there right now and answering your questions. I hope you have a fantastic day. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you next week. Bye for now.